Comrades, this is Admiral Andre speaking, your brave and proud leader. Well, let's not embellish my role here too much, shall we? But at any rate, welcome back to Soviet Republic Workers and Resources and our Soviet Socialist Republic of Androvia. Everything is paused right now just so we can take stock for a moment, because time has passed, comrades, not here but in real life. That's unfortunately how it goes sometimes, but we're back again. So let's just have a look here. I just want to recap now for my own sake. I have been playing in, again, a different game than this one, just off camera and learning even more lessons and so on. But I think that will give us a good base for continuing with our Republic here. So the train here is going to the customs house with the rest of the Soviet Union, and it will be selling the coal, but this will be its last journey. After that I'm just going to sell it. I'm not even going to bother sending it back to the vehicle yard because we don't have enough coal. We're not producing enough for export at the moment. It's barely keeping up with our power plant, and this is really what its main purpose is. So we will be subsisting for now on fuel and bitumen and hoping for the best, but there were some other suggestions for us to look at clothing, and that will be something I think we have to implement as soon as possible, because our money will be running out soon and industrial buildings are extremely expensive, and of course we don't have any construction plants available at the moment to build it ourselves. So I think let's just continue. Normal speed 19th of April 1960, and the train will be going there. I think it might even be worth it just to go along with this journey, because I don't want to forget to sell it now. And it's waiting for something. I suppose there's a train coming. Yes, right there. Alright, we'll keep going with other things in the meantime. I think the first thing we should do is to give power to our people. Of course, literally, not metaphorically, because I have the power here. But yes, we are producing electricity, but our people are not enjoying that privilege yet, so we have to change that. And I think what I would like to do is to move people out of this house and see if we can fit one of the distribution boxes in here. Let's just make some room. And one more. Right, so what's the happiness here? Oh, not good at all. People are very upset. So we're going to have to do something about that as quickly as possible. Again, another experiment of mine. I've had entire villages disappear when people try to escape if they don't get their needs met quickly enough. Especially on a map like this, where we have pre-existing villages, a lot of them will disappear quite soon. So especially here where we want to use the workers, we don't want to lose them quickly, so we do have to take action there. Can I delete this now? Yes. Right, pause again. Let's just get the substation and see if I can fit it in here. It should reach the majority of the town here. Yes, that looks... Obviously there's a few houses that will be missing out, but Ujama, they will be moved into more central housing in time. So I think this is actually a very good place for this substation. I just want to rotate it around a few times. Give me the wireframe. It's pretty pointless, but why not? Just there, and then I'm wondering, the medium should probably be enough for now, but at night, luckily we turned that off. Power consumption increases quite drastically for all the lights, but we don't have to worry about that, so I think this one will be sufficient. Now, where are we going to meet this up? Because we do want some kind of relatively attractive situation here. Now I could run the medium wires all the way to those towns, and that probably won't be a terrible idea. I think we will do that. I don't want to use the high voltage cables for a relatively short distance here. It's not necessary, I think. But for this we'll use the high capacity medium wires, and now just have to think, where is this going to go? Let's go straight down here. I might need to turn on the wireframe. Now of course we can't turn it too suddenly. I like having these follow the roads. Just looks nice. So where is it stopping now? Just have to cross here and then go straight down. Then we'll just follow the road. I'll just continue the clock again. And then we'll split this wire into the various directions of the towns nearby. So I think we'll probably put a splitter here somewhere, and then it can go down that direction. So a medium voltage switch, and this one should be facing that way. So this will work out quite nicely if I can fit it in here. It's just a little too steep here, so it will just have to be a bit further back. And the road is not built there. Just use a dirt road. Not good enough. It won't matter now. I don't want to delete it when we are in a precarious financial situation. Right, so then we use the medium voltage wires. These look like telephone poles to a large extent, so I kind of like that. Okay, now I went a little too far there. And there, so that is power to the city or town of Virov. Let's turn the grid off. And we can just have a look here. Is it live? Yes, it is. There's the voltage going up and fluctuating wildly. But as I said, our electricians are also not the most experienced. But yes, we hope that's not going to destroy anyone's electrical appliances there. But anyway, the wattage is well below the maximum amount, so we are fine there. I also noticed here, if you click on the bulldozer or demolish and you close the menu, then whatever is underneath will be highlighted red. So it's just something to keep an eye on. Now I think we'll probably send the cables down here again, right next to the road, and if we can fit it in somewhere here, that would look nice, but I doubt if we'll be able to. No, it's too big here. What if we put it right here? Some buildings will be missing out then. Can't have that. I think we might have to delete some more buildings here. If I can get rid of the people in this one, that will give us a lot of room. Let's do that, because I want to put shops in every town as well. Right, that will do. So this will give us a bit of space. The churches can stay, as I said before. If people want to go there, it's fine. Still a bus on that part of the road. And there, so a nice bit of land available. So we'll put the same thing here, an electric substation. Should we go all the way down or just put it somewhere here? I think we'll just put it here in the corner. And then take another medium voltage wire and just follow the road. Now of course this area will also have to get one. So that means we will actually need another, well, what's the one going down here? That's the one to the gas station. We've also got this up here, but I think I'm going to relocate this. I don't want these high voltage lines too close to the towns. So that means somewhere here we will have to get another switch, and then that will go down to the garage. But actually, I just have to think, how do I want to do this now? How far do we have to go with this? We can put it here, right there by the outskirts of this part of the town. Just have to think now, what's the button? It's shift again. As I've been playing a little bit of Tropico 6, and of course the keys are a little different there. And now of course that house is in the way. Just move please, thank you, and delete that road. You can't make a road junction if there's a footpath in that area. And back to the substation. We might have to delete another house. There's plenty of room, but it's just that box is too big there. Just move them, and again it's part of Ujamaa, so don't feel sorry for them. And I'm just going to pause because the coal train is probably on the way back again. Now that road is again highlighted. I have to make sure there's nothing underneath. Right, where's this train? And it's actually there unloading right now. That's perfect timing, so we'll just wait for that to empty and then I'll sell this. Right, sell vehicle, and we get quite a lot of the money back again, and it's gone. So now this whole line is dedicated just to the oil and or the fuel and the bitumen. And speaking of that, I actually have to change the setting on the train. Okay, it's not, no, it has already left. So let's just have a look here. Load and unload. Now what is going on here? Now you shouldn't have an unload here. And it is loading everything there. Wait until loaded and then unload everything that you have, and can just as well say wait until unloaded, but it will do that anyway. So yes, I don't think, well, turn off the oil. It's not going to pick up oil, but just to be 100% sure. And that will give us another 74,000 rubles. So at least some money is coming in, and of course from the power plant as well. So at least that's moving in the right direction now. So where were we? Power. Yes, I have to just delete this little bit of footpath there. And I think that will do. Huge area just for that small little substation. Guess they want to be sure there's no fire spreading from there. Can't even do it there. Too much of a descent downhill. So if there is a fire, it'll just have to burn out. Now, where's the subjunction here? Just again follow the road. I guess hypothetically if they had to maintain this, it would make it easy for maintenance purposes to access all the pylons. Now it's going to be crossing itself there, so I don't want to have that happen. Let's just pause here and get rid of the cables. And now I need actually 2 medium voltage switches here. The first one should go down that direction, and then another one should... Now I have to think, how do we make this look a little bit nice here? I guess we don't really have much of a choice here, but it has to point this way. Just rotate it around a few times. That will do. And then get the higher capacity one again for that stretch, and then medium for this one, and then medium for this one as well. And distance too far. Let's just see if we move this one a bit closer. Still too far. Might have to... No, we can't move back to the higher voltage. Let's just let everything get built. No, it's too far. What about here? Even that's too far. But not for the higher capacity. So I guess we'll have to replace this. Oh well, didn't have that much to delete, so it's not going to waste that much money. Back to the high medium voltage, and Just put it straight down the main road. Right, so our big towns that we are accessing right now all have power, or should have power. Is there a step I missed? Yes, there is. Now maybe? Yes, there we go. At least that... Oh no, never mind. I wanted to say the voltage is more stable there, but I guess not. I don't know why it does that. Strange, but okay, it works. That's one thing we can say. Then I'll just put the low capacity back again, and that will be perfect timing for the buses to get their fuel. Again, the voltage is swinging wildly here. What is happening? It's stable here. So where does it go then? It goes into this one, which is stable, then it goes into that one, which is stable. And then it goes all the way down the road. No, it's not. Why is it now shifting down to 3 again? That one is stable. Okay, they're all stable. Just see what's happening in the houses again. Right, I think it's working itself out now. No, this one is still wildly fluctuating. Let's just make sure it's getting enough power in the distribution box there. Yes, I mean the wattage is well below what it needs. Maybe that shifts according to how people are using it. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone will be able to advise there. But anyway, they have power, so... Just, oh, good grief, don't plug anything into the outlets. You might short everything out. Comrades, why are you not having a stable electrical supply? But it's stable there throughout the whole distribution chain. That one is also stable. It's the small substations which are fluctuating, so it has to be something on the demand end. Not sure, but anyway, we can ignore that. Let's get rid of this stretch. I don't think we pay maintenance for it, but we can just get rid of it anyway, for aesthetical purposes. Right, so one more thing is done, comrades. Now what is next on our agenda? The next thing has to be to get food, and see, everything is fluctuating wildly. Must be a bug, because it's nothing I have done. You see, my supply is completely stable, so it has to be on this end, and they're not using more than the wires can provide. Anyway, never mind that. Let's just have a look again. These are the medium wires. Yes, and they can carry 1.2 megawatts. And that's well below 1.2. Anyway, ignore that then. Maybe it will sort itself out. But we have to get food and clothing and electronics in all of the towns. I don't want people to be commuting for that. They can do it, and people will do it. I have seen that happen. Maybe we'll catch a few of them in transit somewhere. See, there's the students and the passengers. The passengers are the ones who are going to go shopping and things like that. But it's taking too long, so lots of them are not getting all their needs met. So I think the first thing we'll do is right here, go back into the residential buildings and get grocery stores and small stores. I'm not going to get shopping centers because that will be for very large cities later. So let's just think, we have a kindergarten here. We might get a school here as well. Now I have to think, how are we going to get this to fit in here? I think we'll be just fine here. I have to delete that bit of footpath. Just so we can get the road access. Gravel is fine, as long as there's a connection. And then we'll make sure everyone here is covered. No, some of the outlying houses are not. And what is going on with the vaults, comrades? What is going on with the vaults? Please help. Someone advise. Anyway. You can imagine living there. Anyway. It's never a dull moment in the Soviet Republic. So we'll put a grocery store right there and a small store right next door. And that should meet the local needs. That is too funny for me. It can't make up its mind what it wants to do. And it's definitely in the houses where it's happening. Or at least in the places where the power is used. Because there it's stable. And we are using the highest capacity cables to go to this town, and it still does it. Couldn't be that it's not producing enough. No, it still has a large margin right there. And the vaults are stable here. I don't know. Who knows, comrades? Who knows? Anyway, what can we do with this space here? I think we should get a sports field as well. This will be like the community center area. I'll connect that in just a moment. And we'll get a pub as well. Right, so at least the people here should be happy. Now let's just get the footpaths back. Can I go there? We'll just go down there and then split it off there and do the same here. Now, can I connect that? No, it's too close, but that's alright. We still have this one. It's not necessary to put another one there. Just connect the sports fields. And actually, just put another footpath here. That's overkill. No, let's not do that. Although, why not? Right, so let's just check all the connections here now. Obviously that is going to not be connected, but that's alright. We'll get to that. So the big thing here is this one. All the other big residential blocks are connected, but not the 53 living here. So that is a problem. Is there anything I can do about that? Let's try making some more connections here. Now wait, I'm on the wrong end now. Still not. Might have to move them. Can't see another way. I mean, it just has to go down one of these two roads. And it is connected there as well. No, they'll have to move. Alright, let's start the moving process. Lots of empty space. I'm sure lots of people have defected already. Right, clear this. Small houses I'm not going to worry about right now. We'll get to them in time. Let's just make sure the majority of the people are getting what they need. So the grocery store, that is connecting all the major houses or housing blocks. What about the store? Not. There's one missing down there. This takes time, but it's important. We have to take care of this. Those vaults are a real problem. I don't know what's happening there. Now this is probably not going to make any difference. Is there any way we can help here? Doesn't look like it. Again, they have to go around either this way or this way. They can't go through buildings, so this one might have to be moved as well. In fact, let's do it, because otherwise they'll all flee anyway. And there seems to be lots of empty room here. People are definitely running already. Escapes 194 so far, you see? So even though the game is only a few months old, because we put the setting on moderate for people's unhappiness, they are definitely more likely to flee quicker. So this one is also connected to the major areas. Let's move these houses now while we're here. Just blow them up. Ujamaa. And now we have this store. Blow it up as well. These ones should be connected, but no, they're not actually. Not to the school there. Right, so let's do all of them. Every small house has to be destroyed right now. This is the law. Their vaults are stable because they don't have any. Looks like it's almost full now. Money is going up. Not the dollars, but the rubles at least. That's one good thing. So while we're faffing about here, at least our money is growing, so that will give us more options in the future. Right, brave Republic, what shall become of you? I'm not sure. Maybe my leadership will fail you in the end, but that is Western propaganda. Right, maximize all of our services and everything. Just get rid of all these loose ends. Right. Now let's just double check everything again, and they do have access right there. Right, so the other thing is, of course, now lots of people are working in these buildings instead of going to the other power plants and oil processing plants. But there's still a lot left, so I think once we see the numbers here drop too low, then what I can do is just reduce the number of sellers. Why is the building without power supply? Big problem here. Stop for a second. This is right next to that, so there's a problem. The power plant is not producing. Oh, there's not enough people. Right, so where are the buses? They are on their way. So I was definitely wrong last time when I said the power levels don't fluctuate according to the workers there. And that was just because I didn't have enough demand yet. So we have to get more regular service here. And I'm frankly surprised. There should be a lot more buses here. But they're all on their way. They're just too slow. So I'm going to throw a few smaller vans into the mix, I think. There's one now, but it has barely any workers. Right, we have to do that. You know what I'm thinking? Actually, just for safety purposes, because the power plant is such a crucial piece of infrastructure. Why are you just sitting here? Oh, you're obviously also out of power now. Anyway, buy some personal cars. They can only carry 4 people, but I'm going to hook them up just because they're much faster. 160 kilometers, that's faster than our roads can actually carry. Is it boosted? No, you see, they're just leisurely taking their time. Only 5 workers are here as well. We might be losing too many. That's the problem. This is what took me by surprise in my own experiments as well. They'll just vanish rapidly if they don't get their needs met. So yes, I thought we might have more time for that, but of course we don't. They are not patient, so we have to get shops in here pronto. So where shall we do it? This block is almost empty, so let's relocate everyone. Blow it up. Good thing I noticed this. just delete the footpaths. It's better to do it this way, otherwise I can accidentally delete other things. Right, so let's just stop right there. Now you do have a kindergarten with power now, so that covers this whole part of the town. There's another one that covers all the big houses there, so that's fine. We also have a school that's quite centrally located. It can get all the big buildings again, so that's also fine. So we just need the food and the clothing and all of that. I'm wondering, should we even do a big shopping center here? I know technically we said Trirov is the capital, but Virov can be the business capital for a while. But that's too expensive, 94,000. We can afford it, but I don't want to waste money. So anyway, one idea that I have is eventually, once we start to get things up to speed, we can build a brand new custom planned capital somewhere on the map, you know, just like Canberra for Australia or Brasilia for Brazil. So our big project that will be this magnificent shining capital with lots of statues and symbols to our party, and of course if I could build statues to myself I would, but we can't, so that's alright. Let's just get a pub as well. Will everyone be able to use this? Might have to get more than one, but we'll do another kind of a community center area here. It's again too many little roads there. Let's put it here. We'll beautify everything as soon as we are stable here. So let's just get the football, and what else? What else do we need? We do need a fire station and a hospital, but do we have enough workers? We have nothing waiting here. So I think we don't even need to build houses. I can just fill these for now. So let's not even do that. I'll call this episode The Great Escape, because people are absolutely doing that right now. Right, it's not going to be the prettiest, but functionality is a virtue in its own right. Build this. So yes, I think in this case I might limit the amount of people working here, because 15 is going to be too much. There'll be plenty of space for the townsfolk to still shop here. See, all the buildings are running empty. Good grief. So I'll bring this down to 10, because we need them elsewhere. 5 there is alright. Then what else? Just make sure of the coverage again. This is very important. The bus thing didn't work out there. So that one big building here is not being covered, but there's 3 people living there, so we just move it and blow it up. This one is not reaching this area, so let's see if we can connect that. I don't want to blow up everything. If they can reach that spot. Now of course there's no connection there. Why not just a little bit further? Not sure if I can do anything about that. We might just have to move it. We can always use this space again later. 8 people living there. Blow it up. Drastic measures, comrades. Drastic measures. This is why Ujamaa is very important, because without it, people are going to be running away. So they don't even reach this building. Come on. Right, they do now. All these houses will have to be evacuated. Then the field is also covering all the major areas, so I'm happy with that. Right, pause immediately. And now begins another process of moving people. So again, this will be a bit more time, but that's alright. It's part of managing our country. But then the thing is, all the other towns and villages on the map which are not being covered at the moment are all gonna run empty in time. See, these are already empty. That is something I was worried about at the start. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move people out of those towns until we fill up all of these buildings. And then possibly eventually we'll demolish all the other towns. So it might be better if you're using a pre-made map or pre-populated map to put the people's tolerance for or inclination to escape to very low. Just because you can't reach everyone instantly. And we were only getting started still. Right, more, comrades, always more. Yes, this will take a bit of time. I don't mind doing this on camera. It's part of our country management. So yes, how was your time, comrades? How was the last week in your life? It's been crazy busy again for me. It's one of those things. Come on, Patriots, move. I'll skip this part, comrades. We're almost done, but I'll cut this part out until all the houses here are empty. And down here as well. See you in a moment, comrades. Right, we're back again, comrades. The town is looking quite empty now, but at least everyone is centralized here. I'm leaving these houses because obviously they are connected. People can still move into them and be right next to the town services there. Now, unfortunately, I can't see how many people are living in this town. That would be a nice readout just to say how many, what is our population right now. But I think we have to start moving people from other towns. Let's just have a look at those, like this one here. Right, it's still quite full. But I think let's just move some people back because this is where we need them right now. And it's better to live here because there's services here. Right, I'm not going to demolish anything. We will be getting to these towns in time. Just need people. See, the buildings are almost empty complete. Don't do that. Force of habit, I'm afraid. More buildings, more, always more. Right, another one empty. It's like a ghost town up here. And soon it will be down here as well. Right. All the big ones now have people. Let's fill up the small ones. There's 67 there. Right, that's it. So that's at least a few more souls. Now we start moving them in here. Right, that's them. And just get back to this town, Lecce. Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce that. I'll have to improvise a lot, comrades. Back to Trirov, north. Even more. Another 67. You cannot escape. Well, you can, but someone will take your place again. Good grief, it's almost all empty there. Right, at least get all the big buildings filled up. Still more. Right. Okay, fill up the smaller houses as well for now. And that's it. Alright, let's just get it back playing again. So this part has a school, but of course there's no teachers with higher education. But anyway, that will sort itself out. What I need here is also now a shop and a pub and all of that. We can expand this North Tree-Roff area later. Just get closer here and start putting up some services. Now where shall we do that? That's going to reach everyone, possibly up here. Oh, I do like this area. Now move those houses. Now of course they're all full, so they can't move. Now just make another road. I know it goes through the bus stop, so we can't get other vehicles through there right now, but we just need services, and it's too much of a climb. Level, please. Let's see if that helped. Little bit. Step by step. Alright, let's just get the basics up and running here. It's not flat enough, of course. This is not a good town area. This is not good at all. No, this is a flop. That's a flop. We have to get some other area. Can't do anything there. Maybe I can put a pub here. Come on, there's lots of space there. Seriously. Let's see if I can put up a prefab here. Can't use the space at all. Maybe a small one. Yes, alright. No citizens, please. We will relocate our own. Just there, and that is actually... Is that our first prefab building? Well, the first of many, many, many. But for now, we just want these people to move there, and we don't want to lose them. We just want to make room. And then oh, it's not empty yet. Can just use this space, hopefully. These building areas are very, very extra. I can actually delete that footpath and then put it back later. I know people are using it right now, but I need to save space here. I want to get everything as close as possible. Right, now we'll put it back. There. No one is worse for wear. Then a small store. And a pub somewhere. That would have been a nice area. Might have to delete the footpath again. Get out of here. You stand in the way of progress. There. Then get it back again. There we go. No problems there. Now this has plenty of access right there, so we don't have to connect those two ones there. And that should at least make people happier here. So it's filled up already. I think because there's not going to be that many shoppers here, we'll bring it down to 10 again. Even that's too much. They can take up to 47 people with just 10 sellers. So we'll make it only 5 each. There, that's much better. And of course that is 5 already. And then hopefully happiness will go up. This is way too low for keeping the population. Is there any already empty again? Yes. I just filled this up and it's already empty again. Look at that. Right, we'll have to hope for the best, comrades. This is an unintended side effect here. But at least if we can get these people stable, it will be alright. That will be a foundation for the rest of our expansion and progress. Happiness is going up a little, hopefully. Can't visit a pub or tavern, can't participate in a sport, can't enjoy culture. There's nothing I can do about that yet. As far as I know, the only way you can really get culture is through a TV or radio station. Can't get meat, that is going to be fixed. Can't go to school without a job. Everything should be covered now, at least all the big things. Everyone has power. Looks a bit more stable now. Yes, now the vaults are all stable. Maybe it was because all the buildings were running empty. Anyway, let's just see if the power plant is having its quota filled. It looks like it. So that was really the problem. It wasn't that we had too few buses. It was that we had too few workers. So I'm not going to do anything with the personal cars. Basically, they just work like normal buses. You still have to start from a bus stop and go to another bus stop. Someone in another video commented, this is not one of my videos, but I thought that might be interesting. That was actually one of Corralis's videos on this game. That you can assign these to a residential area and then the people there will use that, but you can't do that. That's unfortunately not allowed, not even for the prefabs. So you can't assign them. It's literally just another bus, but it's a much faster one, even though it can't take as many people. But we have more than enough buses, so I think that should work now. Hopefully. So, anyway, where were we? We did drop a bit in our money, but things should still be quite stable. It looks like it. Bitumen, fuel, everything is working here. Oil. Now where is our friend, the train? There it is, on the way again. So this will be the second trip now, since we saw it last. And it has 91,000 this time, much better. So we'll go along with this, comrades. I like to drive along with the trains and just have a look at our wonderful countryside here. Why would anyone ever want to leave this? Let's have a look at the statistics here. We'll say this year, which is so far only 5 months long, we've had 1,100 escapes. Look at this little peak that we had here. How interesting is that? I wonder why that is. You would think it's more gradual than that, because surely people get upset over time. But look at that, it just jumped right there. I can't keep that open, unfortunately. But right there was a heck of a jump. Now it's back down to 0 again. Yes, just look at that. And the money should be going up now again. Let's just see, how many births did we have this year? Only 10. Deaths 400, so we are losing a lot of people. But alright, hopefully that will change, at least in those big towns now. And we will just bring in more people if we have to. But now I want to get some other kind of productive sector going. There's no workers here. I might actually have to do this now. Let's just bring more people in here. I want at least a few people waiting there. So we're going to use the big prefab, the 150. And we'll put it right here in the center of our new expansion. Now, how can we do this so that it uses the least amount of space? Right there. Just have to build the road myself. Hopefully it works. Even if it's a bit skew right now, that's alright. They should have access to everything in the town, including the bus stop. So let's bring more people in from other areas. What about... I think you pronounce that as a W. So this would be Wallona. It could be even that the citizens in a town like this remain relatively stable until you start working with the town. That might be the case. In which case, at least we won't be losing everyone. Even though, of course, they're not getting what they need. Right. We should have some excess space still. Yes, here and there a little bit. As our population grows, we just have to keep an eye on that. But this should revitalize the town of Virov, so now hopefully we can look at getting some other industries going. So the suggestion was that we get into the clothing industry because clothes are very valuable. Now for that we have to import crops and chemicals in order to make fabric, and I'll rather do that than to import fabric itself. Let's just have a look again. Fabric, now where's that? Right there. So to import from the Soviet Union, everything is more expensive in dollars, so obviously we'll do this from the Union, from the rest of the Union. That's 415 rubles for the fabric, but if we bring in the chemicals and the crops, I believe, then the chemicals are very expensive, obviously, but you use only a small amount of them. And the crops are cheap even to import. So then we make fabric with that and then clothes with that. And this is very profitable. And I think now the question is where are we going to put this? Because again, the comrade who made that suggestion said we can use trucks to take everything to the border. Then we don't have to invest more in the rail system. Although we do have this rail system already with a siding right there, so we could even do it somewhere here near Kolata, but again it's going to use a lot more people than that. Fabric is 100 and another 80, so we need 180 people, and there's not 180 living in this village, so I think we can forget that idea. 32 are waiting there, but we kind of need them. There's 70 waiting there, but you see how quickly the people are picked up, so I'm thinking we might even need to expand our horizons now. Now we've taken a lot of the people out of Leschi here, so we should still have more than enough for the fabric industry, so we might actually start using this town. Then all I have to do is bring the power in. And I think the nearest crossing is Padonin, and that's actually quite far away. Unfortunately, we don't have any towns near the borders, unless we build one. You know, that's not a bad idea. Let's do that actually, even close to the area that we were already. Right here near Kazinchat. We have a power line going here to export power. So we're going to set up a small town here. A very small town. It's not going to be major. It's just going to supply the clothing industry. Eventually we'll grow our own crops, and we can do that by the small villages, because mostly that will use automation anyway. But right here, then, that will be actually a nice little export town, you know, like North Korea, I think, also has a town like that, sort of right on the Chinese border for exports. But you have to be a very valuable member of the party to live there, a very trusted member, I think, anyway. So this will be our first planned town. I think we'll do it right in this area. We're not going to need too much space, so I want to level everything just up to that point. And of course we'll provide all the basics, schools, shops, everything like that. Right, I think that looks decent. There's still a little bit of yellow. Might do something about that. Right, anyway, that I think is quite decent. This will be a nice area, and it's on a bit of a plateau, so it will overlook the valley below. Fantastic. Wouldn't you want to live here and serve under my rule, comrades? Do tell the truth. Remember, you are being monitored. But anyway, let's put a nice road up here. We do want to have quick access to the border. And eventually we can put up other industries here as well. Let's just put it up to that point there and put the grid on and put like a main road right down here. Just flatten a little bit and another road off of that. The people here can watch the train go by as well, so they won't feel too isolated. Now let's begin by planning the service buildings. Grocery store, we will put that right here. Actually, we might put a nice little square, but I'll put the roads in after the buildings. Now again, in this case we can see it's not lining up perfectly, so I'll just keep rolling it around. That does help actually. That's better, much better. So you will go there, and right next door will be the store. That's nicely lined up. And the pub, of course, we can put that across the street. And a sports field, football. And I think that's at least all of these. We don't need a cinema now. A pub will do for that. And also, of course, not the big shopping center yet. Right, so let's just connect this up nicely. I think we can use... We'll still use the road with the lights. Just put one right there. Actually, what we can do is we still need a name for this town. I think it's probably taking Kazinchad at the moment. We can have a look here. Kazinchad small store. But that's just a border post. So comrades, you can give me a suggestion for this little town. Then I can name it. At least that would be a nice thing where the comrades are naming the town. And that road is not quite straight there. Well, relatively anyway. So now I can just delete these little loose ends, but let's wait for a moment. Now this will be 5. I'll drop this down to 5 again. I'm not going to have that many people here at the start. 5. So that is 15, and then of course one person needs to work as a referee there. So that's 16 people that we have to account for just for the workforce for the service buildings. Actually, we'll come back to that. So now I need a bit of residential. Actually, no, the schools first. So obviously a kindergarten, so people can do their work while their children are being watched by the party, of course, for any signs of trouble. And we'll get a school across the road. Now this road is going to be a bit skew again, but at least it doesn't look too bad. So that's another 10 people. I think we'll take the full 10 there, just because we don't know how many little ones there will be. And another 10. So that's 16, 26, 36 people just for the service. Then now the housing. Now let's just think. Actually, first the factories probably. Now that can be in this area, so it's got a straight connection to the border there. Not going to remake this road. But we will need a gas station. Now let's put it here. I still have to use our own fuel for this, but that will happen in time. Road vehicles depot, I think so, otherwise we'll have to bring people in, or vehicles in from far away. Now unfortunately it's just... yeah, that can work. Right, let's use that, and there's just a bit of a gravel access road there. So that gives us the connection. Now the factory still, actually we might put them even here. I don't want to put them directly next to the houses. Although they can go here and then we can use footpaths across the tracks. What can possibly go wrong with that? Right, so where's my factories? Now we can actually do the calculation here, and I'm going to do that, comrades, just for our own sake. This will be interesting. So first of all, we know that we will need various industry. So to make 5 tons of fabric, I'll just write this down, 5T fab, we need 20 tons of crops and half a ton of chemicals. Right, now let's have a look at this so we can actually break this down fully. We'll just pause everything. So the current price of purchasing crops is 18.53. 18.53 per ton, I believe. Then for chemicals it is currently 1676.78, and I just need my calculator for this. So it's an interesting exercise, I think, just for my own sake as well. So 20 times 18.53 gives us 300 and, is that right? 361,000. Now that can't possibly be right. Now let's do it over. 20 times 18.53. I can't even do it calculator right. It's 370. 370.6. That will be the cost of the crops. I'm doing real Soviet calculations. We're getting 300,000 just for the crops. That's the corruption, comrades. The chemicals, that's 0.5 times 1676.78. That gives us 838.39. So just take that plus 370.6. So that gives us a total production cost of 1208.99. Right, now what is 5 tons of fabric worth for purchasing that? So for 16.747 times, we get what? 5. So that's 2082.35. So I'll say equal, then minus 1208.99. So, by importing the crops and the chemicals to make fabric and then making it ourselves, we will be saving 873.36 rubles per ton of fabric when we make clothes. So I think it's more than worthwhile. Obviously it would be because we're adding the value to those materials, but I just wanted to do the sum so I can actually see how the things work in the game. So that's 873.36 of value that we add to the fabric. So now let's put that right here if we can. Actually it would be nice to just feed this into the other factory, so we're going to need a bit more space here. We might even just put it right here. Now it's not lining up, so just keep spinning it around and then it lines up. And continue while we build that, and also a bit more road. We could even, we can't actually, yes we can, we just continue it through here so the exports can go a shortcut. Then we need the clothing factory. Now that's more money than we have it. No, it's not. I'm seeing hundreds of thousands where there's not hundreds of thousands. God grief, I'm really turning into a Soviet. Look at, no, but it is hundreds of thousands. Is it 3? No, it's not. Oh man, I'm just losing my mind. It's 39,000. Well, it happens. There, and it's a bit cheaper because it's close to the border, so it doesn't cost that much to bring the materials in. Just for reference sake, how much does it cost to build that same factory in Virov? Just want to see. Can I see the price? 48,000. So almost half price. It was 20 something there in the end. Now I'm totally lost again. So it's getting built and I just need a connection in between. That works out. There's more wealth going out. So that gives us now a total need of 100 plus 80, that's 180 plus the 36, so that's just over 200 people that we will need. Now it's going to be produced here quite rapidly. One truck is going to be enough. We can even load it up right here. I don't have to need a, oh dear, stop right there. I don't need a special road cargo station for that. Something is on fire, a pipe pumping station which has no road access anyway, and it happens to be the most crucial pumping station that feeds all of the oil into the container right there. It just has to burn down. That's just the nature of it right now. Even if we had a truck, I don't have the roads or a fire station. Okay, next step, we need the workers here. And I think again we'll bring our own workers from elsewhere. So what are we going to do? 150, let's do 220 prefabs. So how do we do this and make it look nice? I think we can even just put it next to the track here. Pollution from fabric shouldn't be that much. We'll put a monitoring station up, just to double check. And should we just use a gravel road for this? Like it's like a driveway, so just an access road. Just make sure everyone has connections to everything. Yes, it's obviously not that far. And now, power. That'll be easy. We'll just create a substation here. Just pause that and delete somewhere. Let's do it right here. First we will need a switch and then we will need a transformer. Now all of these ideally should have access roads, because that's another thing I discovered. They will eventually catch fire, but luckily the incidence of fire is not that high, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. Let's put it there. So that does have an access road, and the high voltage just can go straight across the road. We can let that get built. And now if I put this here, does it cover everything? No, it has to be a little bit further down the road here. So that will have road access. Right, then we'll just use the maximum one. I'll put some trees around there as well. But this should now feed everything. Of course, nothing is happening yet because there's no people. So let's fix that. The fire is raging. We have to fix that as well very soon because we have no exports without this. Let's blow it up. Just get rid of it. Now, unfortunately, we have to demolish all of the pipes. We can't just do that in sections. You see, it deletes the whole thing. And I can't just put a pump in there. Well, it deletes it anyway. So just get a pumping station back urgently and then bring everything together. Now, was it just that? I think it was just that. Oh, that's expensive. The oil stuff is very expensive for obvious reasons. But I think that's everything. So that one brings those three. That goes into that one goes into that one, and that one also goes into that one. So everything should now be back to normal. I want to see the fuel flow right in here, or the oil. Good, this is literally our life's blood now. Now, back to the border. Actually, no, not back to the border. Back to a place where people live without hope of a better life. And I am totally lost inside my own country. Actually, I had a look at this. It's very interesting. In one of the development diaries, I think it's development diary number 6, the video actually says this is a country that is 20 kilometers by 20 kilometers, which means it's a 400 square kilometer country, which makes it the 13th smallest country in the world. I looked that up. It's just slightly larger than St. Vincent and the Grenadines and just slightly smaller than Barbados. So we have 12 countries in the world smaller than this. So that's something, right? We can be proud of that, I guess. It's not a huge country, but it does give us some space. It's actually quite a lot of space if you think about it. Okay, that's just 20 people, but let's bring them in. I should just scroll with the keyboard, but it's quite slow. More people. How many is in this building? Not quite full yet. Let's just go back to Olona here. That's another 85. Totally lost again. That way. Right, nothing is going to be happening here right now because we are not importing the crops and the chemicals yet. Just want to get the people in place. It's 50. Where's more? I need more. Let's keep both screens open. Oh no, where are we? Totally lost. Kazincha, there we go. That will get better, comrades. $120 by $120. So everyone is here and they should have all the basic services. So that's 240 people. Now here I will tell them to import the minimum because obviously it will keep getting replenished the whole time, and then that will allow us to make fabric which will be fed through here, and then that will make the clothes. So it should be working at maximum capacity. We also have a little bit of excess workers because some will be going to the shops or the school or the sports field, so they're not going to all be at their jobs all the time, obviously, but At least we have a bit of excess people there. So the production should be quite high here. Might even bring more people in. But let's just get things going. Now, we did calculate that it costs us... Actually, now I need the calculator again. Calculator. So we can work out exactly how much profit we'll be making here. So we said we are going to be paying... No, we'll be getting 2,800... No, 2082.35 minus 1208.99. That gives us the profit of 873. So it costs us 1208.99 to make the fabric, but we're not selling the fabric, we're selling the clothes. So let's have a look at the actual profits that we'll be making. So selling that is... Did I look at the right number last time? Did I use that one? Anyway, it's irrelevant now. It should be the sell figure, obviously. So 1455.82. Now, how much are we going to be producing here? Should actually just look into the menu. Right, so 1.2 tons of clothes. So we'll times 1.2 that. That gives us a total sales figure of 1746.98 sales. Now, what is it going to cost us? 2.4 tons of fabric. Actually, now I'm totally getting confused. What is the cost of the fabric again? I wrote things down, but I didn't write down all of the things. I think it's the 1208.99, but that's for 5 tons, and we don't use 5 tons. We use 2.4. So that should then be 120. I'm probably screwing this up completely, but anyway, we'll try. This is Soviet Accounting 101, comrades. Times. Now I have to think. This is for 5. Should we just give up? I think we will just give up. But anyway, we should be making money there because we are saving a lot of money on the inputs. I'll try this again later. I think we've had enough Soviet accounting for today. Anyway, lots of people are not working here at the moment. Maybe we need to bring in more so they can take turns with their shifts. The population is already dropping again. Now, I know you can't visit a church, but there's nothing I can do about that. They should still be very happy on the overall level, because they should be able to get the school and all of that. There's still lots of room in the school. That should be going up over time. Let's hope anyway. But I'm going to put up another prefab here. Let's put up another 120. We can always make use of the labor some other way. And I'll just bring in some people, not the whole 120, just so we have some room there. Now, Soviet accounting didn't work out, comrades. Oh, good grief. Can't speak and think and plan and do everything. This town is pretty empty now. There's 53. Let's bring the 53 in. Right, that should give us some more people, because obviously not everyone is going to be of working age. Some will be too old, some will be too young. Let's see, there's 31 children living here. So obviously, again, it's better to have more, because not everyone is going to be of working age. Actually, let's bring in more people. More. There's another 53. That should do. Right, all of you in, and now we should start to see this happen. Hopefully. And even bring more people in. 12 babies, 24 of those are children. And you should have access again. No, you don't actually have access, so let's do something about that. Now, let's plan this out nicely. It's a relative term, I guess. Can't connect there. But I can possibly just give a shortcut across here. Right, I know that's not connected there, but we'll pretend. Still not. Still not. Now it is. Alright. Just worth investing a bit of time into that. Faults are fluctuating wildly, but anyway, it's doing what it normally does. At least production is continuing here. So we now have already a ton of clothes and everything just fell. We have no power again. And now we have power again, so obviously there weren't enough workers at the power plant for a moment. We might actually just drop our exports a little bit. Let's make it just 80% of maximum capacity there. That will help a little, just to cover those little times of worker shortages. So now we should see the happiness go up here as well, and let's get a truck. You do have power there, so let's see, what do we have? We could even be fancy and get a French one just to show how cosmopolitan we really are. That might be enough actually, 2.5, let's do that. Yeah, of course we don't even have dollars, never mind. It really is Soviet accounting here. Covered hull. Half a ton is maybe a bit too small. We'll take this one right there. And you will pick up there and you drop off there, and I will say wait until loaded, just because obviously I think it will be just a little bit too much capacity there. But who knows. See, at this point though, it's going to have to drive all the way around. Or just wait there, that's also fine. This is still the life's blood of the country here. Let's put up some kind of decoration here. Just because, and we should do it here as well. This should be a Lenin statue. Maybe even right there. Comrade Lenin, you are not lining up to the grid here. There we go. I don't think people actually go and visit these, even though it has a path, but I guess we will pretend that they do. We'll pretend that Comrade Lenin sees them, and we'll pretend that they see Comrade Lenin. Right, so is it really... It's working, but I think we just need more people here. See, obviously a lot are in the school and too young and all of that. Let us get a... just keep with the 120s for now. Put one right by the border. And escaping there is not going to help, because you'll only escape deeper into the Soviet Union. So let's get more people. We'll drain this lechi completely here. There. Now, of course, I can't see too much, but it should save us a moment. Where's the town? Just down there. Right, start moving. Did I delete that building? I think I did. Right, so that's done. Now we'll probably put up a small building here just again to take the extra capacity as the population hopefully starts growing. And the reason they're not happy now is because obviously they were living in a town where nothing was being provided for them. So it will take some time for them to come to their senses. I can even put it right there. Sure, why not? Let's use the space. It's not quite right yet. Nope. But it's because the path is also skew. Use the wireframe. Did I take this one? No, I took the 60. And just another gravel road. There. So that's a place where people can move in if they have children and all that. New space. Now, things should be looking up. 80 out of 100 and 50, almost 60 out of 80. Let's just see, every building has access to that now, and we are rolling. Now, of course, when we look at the final bottom line here, the profits, we have to think about the cost of the meat and the clothes. I can supply ourselves locally here, but this is only an export factory. The food, the meat, the alcohol, the fuel that we're still using, all of this stuff also has to be subtracted from the cost of the clothes to see how much we're making at the end. But I think it will be enough to cover this town and basically turn a profit. So you see, that's 5,000 rubles right there, and it's only one truck. And this should now be absolutely continuous. So this was a great idea, comrade. Now let's make it look a little nice, and then I will end off for today. I think at least we averted a major crisis with the population running away. I like the beech trees, so we'll be putting some of them here. The people deserve nice things, right? Meaning you, of course, comrades. And that has a nice coverage there. I think we will do the same here. Of course, these trees get quite large, but at least nice leafy streets and at least a bit better ambience, not just factory Armageddon. You can play football in the shade of those trees. You can drink there. Should still be a good life, right? And a few more here. Right, I think that'll do, comrades. For now, let's just see, is everything still rolling? This power fluctuation, if someone has an answer for that, please let me know. I don't think it really has any impact on the game because everything is working perfectly smoothly here. It's just some problem with the readouts there. See, everything is going continuously. You are, of course, not buying the fabric, that's fine. And where's our friend? Should be back already. Yes, right there, just waiting permanently for clothes and then selling them. So hopefully that will help. But this is a nice little community. So give me the name for this community, comrades, and I will see you next time. And have a wonderful and fantastic week in our communist paradise. And forgive my Soviet accounting, comrades. It's par for the course, I'm afraid.